stop taking all your profits and putting it in your bank account and start giving back more to your customers. And I promise you will have a bigger customer pool to not only give back to, but to transact with.
If your service business is at under 500 reviews, maybe 1,000 reviews, if you're at 2,000 to 3,000 reviews as a service company, you're doing something pretty good. And so what are you going to do to boost that up if you're at 100 listening to this right now?
50 to 100 different areas in your market from where you could acquire new customers.
Go plant or go produce, 10 to 15 wells so you're not reliant on one. It's hard to sleep at night if you know that, like, hey, if that well breaks, we're screwed.
Welcome to the Premium Mindset, the weekly podcast where homegrown entrepreneurs and business owners, Evan Ritchie and Cameron Bodden, share the good, the bad, and the ugly of modern entrepreneurship and reveal what really happens behind the scenes of their personal and professional lives. As owners of two of America's fastest growing and most disruptive companies, Coconut Cleaning and Green Mango Pest Control. Stay tuned for real stories, struggles, insight, and advice from real entrepreneurs in real time.
So let me tell you one of the most consistent things that I hear from entrepreneurs where I could easily tell you, like, I am you and we experience the same thing. And that's from a lack of diversity in your areas from which you acquire new customers. I feel like a lot of people that we talk to are consistently saying, I need to get more customers. I need to find new customers. Hey, should I try Google ads? I do LSA, but I don't do ads. Hey, I post organically on social media, but I don't do any ads on Meta. And so the reason why I say, like, hey, where are you, is that I feel like we have consistently always doubled down on this. You good? You're doing that on purpose? You're doing nothing. I'm going to start looking up at your... Don't do that. Don't do that the rest of the podcast.
I'm admiring your patch, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
I think it's cool. I'm jealous because I want to make some Hype Farm hats with the I forget what brand, but like
Dad Gang.
No, like I have a really funky style of like the type of hats that I like as far as comfort goes. I think it's the 710.
Yeah. So
that's my favorite hat right now, but I want to do a patch like that. That's Hype Farm. And like,
well, I feel like you kind of did it with
that's the patch that I want, but my team's telling me they can't find that, and I'm pissed because I know it's possible.
All things are possible.
That's what I said. So customer diversification, got it.
Customer diversification, okay? So here's what we've always done really well. Any area from which we can say when we do a giveaway, not only do we get some great followers, but it just, for whatever reason, around giveaway time, our new customers increase, right?
For whatever reason. Were you being funny right there?
I'm like, that's a supplemental point too that we've always done well with, doubling down on what works.
Okay.
And I feel like it's not that, hey, we've been a one-trick pony in that, but hey, if we did a giveaway and it worked really well, we do another giveaway and we do another giveaway, right?
That's why we're doubling down on giveaways right now.
Correct. So if you go look at our page, enter into our most recent giveaway. We're super excited for Mother's Day and Father's Day. But I just get it. We're not doing any giveaways right now because, well, when you take a look at it, so here's why we've changed is if you look at a scale of acquisition cost and you have 0 over here and you have, for us, a really high acquisition cost would be $300. What we've experimented on over the years has allowed us to say what small group towards this tail end of $0 to $90 can we just keep doubling down on until we get diminishing returns. So I'd actually compliment the team that our allocation of funds has been resourceful to continue to double down on the things that bring us lower acquisition costs, which increases profit. However, I've talked about doing the door-to-door mission at Coconut, and I'm so excited to get that going. It's going to be on this end of acquisition costs, and that's a little scary. And so you might say, well, hey, why are you going towards something that is higher acquisition cost? It's because of the volume of jobs that it's going to bring and the revenue and retention system we have down so that when we influx the front doors with new customers, we've now have done a lot better on our system to keep them and to get more from them throughout the years. And so we're okay with the higher acquisition costs. However, Jacob could post something maybe a little bit nicer, but if you look at this little circle and you look at all the individual sources from where you could acquire new customers, we actually don't do much. And so at Coconut, we've talked about diversifying, or I think what I really like Megan said is that she's always preached an 80-20 rule, which is 80% of your budget, you keep doubling down on the sources of marketing that are working, and then you use 20% of your budget for split testing new sources of customers so that you can figure out, hey, with this $500 budget, we sent out 2,000 mailers to this zip code. It actually worked. Okay, now let's double down on that. But you can't really do that unless you experiment. So I really like that. But what I look forward to at Coconut, on top of the door-to-door, is we are branching out into new areas to acquire new customers. And so what I would encourage you guys to do, if you're listening and you're like, man, I need new customers, I feel like my business isn't growing, write down on a piece of paper all the current areas from which you acquire new customers, and then go into ChatGPT and say, hey, where are other sources from where I can acquire new customers? And you're going to see that the list it's not endless, but it's generally about 50 to 100 different areas in your market from where you could acquire new customers. Some are going to be lower acquisition, high volume, low acquisition, low volume, or you could have high acquisition, high volume, and high acquisition, low volume, like an exposure play. So your business problems, and especially getting new customers, starts to get a lot more simple when you actually lay everything out on a piece of paper and start seeing, okay, I don't do LSA. How do I do LSA? Or I haven't done a mailer. How can I do a mailer? Home shows. I know that at the 1%, I feel like a lot of the guys are hitting me up on home shows. Did you ever do home shows at Green Mango?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Yeah.
Like first couple years or like middle or?
Yeah, we probably did them the first, not the first or second year, but probably years 3 through 6, 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So putting you guys on game real quick, what we would do now is we'd say, what is a high exposure play that gets us the fastest call to action or the highest volume of customers to act? And for us, what we would say right now, it's Meta ads and Google ads is the highest exposure play to get more customers. And so if you struggle with knowing how to play around with your Meta and Google ads, you have to consistently post organically. And then when you have an organic post that is received well, you put that creative aspect into your ads, and then you play around with the promotion, the copy, which is actually the words on the ad, and then the call to action, which is the invitation to act. And I look forward to showing you guys our little list as we continue to diversify. But what I feel like right now, what we're doing, because I said I would consistently report, is door-to-door, which is low exposure, high call to action. And then we're doubling down on a few areas like mailers that I think is going to be a high exposure and shorter volume play. But in the long term, I think it's going to supplement the door-to-door guys as they go knock a neighborhood that just got 2 mailers in the previous month.
If you're listening to this podcast right now and you're loving what we're talking about, but you're still confused of where to go and how to accomplish it, that's exactly why we started the 1% Club. We go through playbooks that teach you exactly how to do it and when to do it. And so I want you to click the link below that talks about the 1% Club and want you to join with us. I'm just going through a couple of things because, last month on the 1% call, I gave a playbook, local marketing moves that print money. And we talked about how you need to go out and get 10 to 15 different wells that produce water or sources of new sales, right? And that's one of the things that I feel like we've hung our hat on with all of our companies, that we don't rely on one source. And so I understand what you're saying. And I guess it's kind of, we don't always connect on exactly what's going on at Coconut. Yeah. But one of the things that I understand is like, okay, if our acquisition cost was $150 for giveaways, but we've shied away from giveaways and we've doubled down on other areas like Google ads, or just like through our influencers where our acquisition cost is around $40 right now. I understand like, hey, let's go down to there. But why wouldn't we continue to do giveaways if that fits our model with acquisition cost?
I think we're in the wrong there for dropping the ball there. Like
Yeah.
I don't agree with our play of, I feel like where you could relate and all small business owners can relate is like you feel this consistent feeling of where do I put my attention and where do I put my team's attention. And so I think it has less to do with it was a definitive play and we intentionally said no more giveaways. And I think that we just started focusing on faster call to action sources with lower acquisition costs. And then 2 years goes by and we're like, we haven't done a giveaway.
So this is where, we talked about on our last podcast where, sole entrepreneurs say, hey, as you get bigger, you lose touch points. Yeah. I feel like some people that get past the 3 million mark, the 5 million mark, kind of forget what it took to get them to the 5 million.
Yeah.
And that might be and again, like we're working together, and this is what's so beautiful about having a partnership that you can come together on and be like, dude, like I understand, like let's allocate more of the budget towards, the Google ads and the influencers and everything that's working to get us down to 40, but let's still keep the wells open. And maybe it's not doing any giveaway every single holiday, which was our playbook before. Maybe it's the major ones, but nonetheless, like let's keep capitalizing, right? The other thing is I believe that there's a time and a season for why you do giveaways. What's one of the other benefits that comes from giveaways besides new customers? It's people following your page. Mm-hmm. I just looked up our Instagram followers is at 41,000 people at Coconut.
Yep.
I looked up Zero Reses. They're at 4,500. Yep. I can't even find Stanley Steamer's Instagram page. Do they have an Instagram page?
They do. They just recently
I can't find it, but I mean, do you know what it's at?
It's like under 1,200.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's our competition, right? When we look at, hey, it took a lot of money, maybe a higher acquisition cost to do giveaways. And one of the things that came from it was new customers, but it was also growing this Instagram page that shows credibility. So if you're in the market and you're not only looking at Google reviews, but you're looking on social proof with people, and you go on and you look at the 3 pages, Coconut, Zero Res, and Stanley Steamer, and we're at 41,000 people, right?
Yep.
Like there's a benefit there. If your service business is at under 500 reviews, maybe 1,000 reviews, if you're at 2,000 to 3,000 reviews as a service company, like you're doing something pretty good. And so what are you going to do to boost that up if you're at 100 listening to this right now? You might want to go, justify a little bit higher acquisition cost, but it still has to fit the model. And I guess that's what I'm saying right now is that it's important to have all the wells, but also as you get bigger, not forget about what you did, but then it's allocating a certain person to that respected area. Like one of the things that I always talk to you about is the partnership programs. Yeah. Like a large part of Coconut that was built was off of customer referrals from Green Mango. Yep. I think we're silly not to go get one person to like manage just the partnership relationships with all the other business owners, and I think that could help out. The other thing is I was listening to one of Alex Hermosi's podcasts the other day, and he talked about sizing up towards other people. So like he's like, man, I used to think Mr. Beast gets 100 million views and be jealous that we're only at 500,000 or something like that, right? And he's like, dude, it's a completely different target audience, and so knowing your audience as well like makes a huge impact for where you're at. So yeah, if you're a service company and you're like, I can't get past 2,000 or 3,000 followers, I'm not saying like settle because that's kind of the norm, but like you should pat yourself on the back and be like, dude, I have the attention of 3,000 people from a business account. I'm not competing against the, Mr. Beast or, any other influence out there that's their audience is like people that just want to get entertained. And that's massive. Right. And so as we look at like times and places to allocate different sources, there's a season for Green Mango where we wanted to get into home shows, and so that's why we did home shows. Coconut, perfect example of home shows, right? Like you guys just pulled out of home shows and you're given a break for like a year and a half.
Yeah, we're coming
but that
back
was like a heavy part of how we grew. And I love hearing that, like, hey, we're going back. Maybe you don't go as hard, but it's still like a well that you keep producing, because that's what we teach in the playbook with local marketing moves that print money, is that go plant or go produce, 10 to 15 wells. So you're not reliant on one, because it's hard to sleep at night if you know that, like, hey, if that well breaks, we're screwed.
I just had an experience with franchisees, because Cameron and I are still building a national company, and I was able to illustrate to them how important it is to stay on top of their leads, that before they pass it off to a family member, that they need to have the SOPs that we already have. So it's clear, the stats are out there. Franchising is an accelerator for you to not only start a business, but to be able to grow at a pace that just starting a regular company, you just can't do. So if you're interested in franchising with us at Coconut Cleaning and you want to jump into a system that's ready to go, click the link below and we'd love to talk to you soon. Yep. I feel like that's something you always help me stay consistent with. And again, like I'm always trying to, reach out to the people that listen, because I feel like when we try to make these podcasts, we get feedback from guys that just, they don't have the money to make payroll next week. And so doing a giveaway might sound intimidating, right? And so we're not talking about just go pour all the money into a giveaway or any other source from acquiring new customers, but it's being strategic, and that's what we've always been. So even if we've dropped the ball in some other area that has fed customers into our pipeline over time, we've always been strategic at feeding the machine with the customers that we know we could put out right now. And it's always going to be, when you acquire a new customer from any source, you now own that customer. You own the number, the address, you own that experience, and where we've always gone to finding quick cash. So here's the idea. If you want to do a giveaway and you want to grow your Instagram page, but you're like, man, the capital, I don't know. Here's what I'd recommend is get customers that you've already paid for back onto your route paying more. And what that looks like for a non-subscription company is you could reach back out to them and say, could we get a referral? If it's a service like that's not roofing or garages where you could actually do more, or you could see them again, like for us at carpet cleaning, if they have a one-time service, they don't sign up for the subscription. We could just say, hey, here's an amazing deal if you get service tomorrow because we're going to be in your neighborhood. Right now, what drives 30% of our revenue every month is our drip texting and emailing campaigns to our already existing customer base. Okay. So that will feed some cash into the pipeline. And then something like a giveaway, it's so important. We've talked about this a few times. You have to know your avatar. Yeah. If you do the giveaway, so it's coming up, it's Valentine's Day. There's a place called Castle Hot Springs in Arizona where it's one
of my favorite places.
Yeah, it's a famous destination it's extremely relaxing, but we're going to do a quick giveaway. It's going to cost us $1,200. And it's to, hey, call in, book a service, share, and you are entered in for this drawing to get a $1,200 package at Castle Hot Springs with a little, a few extra like dinner gift cards and things like that. And so because we know,
should ramp it up even more, man. Like think of
that giveaway.
So we can fly the helicopter into Castle. The drive out there sucks. It does.
The rocks and yeah.
So you can fly the helicopter in and drop people off. Like, how could you ask for more to get that experience?
Go have fun for Valentine's Day. It's like weird taking people to like this,
Wait,
what? So what you would do is if you know you're
that idea. Well,
I love it. I want to make it a part of it. And I think all you're doing is just highlighting that, hey, if you don't, here's what I'll say. If you're watching this and you don't own a helicopter,
let's speak to our target audience here, people that own helicopters.
But what Cameron is doing is he's using resources that he owns to make the experience that much better.
People pay like $2,500, so it's a service. So yes. The guy that owns Castle Hot Springs has an R66. Ryan's his helicopter pilot.
Are you being serious? I have no idea. Okay.
You pay about is it $2,500? Do you know how much is it? $3,000, $4,000? It's $10,000. I'm just kidding. $3,000 to get flown from Chandler, Scottsdale Airport to a 15-20 minute flight to Castle Hot Springs to get dropped off. Right on the lawn in the middle of the resort. We have access to land there. I'd love to contribute that to Coconut to make it go further, faster. And I already have all the B-roll of me flying in there so that you can make it great.
Okay.
I wish he would talk to me once in a while, like when he's talking about his promotions and stuff. That's crazy. I wish you had time. I get it.
So we're also doing another giveaway at Lake Powell. Just kidding. But I think this is what Cameron and I have always had, is this kind of dialogue around giving our customers the best experience. So for you, the listener, if your customer avatar is 35 to 45-year-old homeowner with 2 to 3 kids, like, do a giveaway that demographic would be excited to win. If it's coming up on Christmas,
I have the best idea. I need to interrupt this podcast.
Are we recording?
This is great. I want you to record this. Megan, here's my idea. Can we talk right now during this?
I swear, please.
Keep going.
So he's talking to Megan, his chief marketing officer for Hype Farm and 1%.
So your mind's at how do we grow coconut? Mine's at how to grow 1% club.
Correct.
Through referrals, right? You're
Correct.
talking about giveaways. My thing is, I love the Castle Hot Springs. That's an experience. What if we had a competition with, like, you had tiers to enter the giveaway, and the ultimate prize is the helicopter ride to Castle Hot Springs or something else, but like something like that. But you also get points as a member, like when you reshare stuff, when you share testimonials, when you reshare playbooks, and it's like whoever has the highest points at the end of the month gets this grand experience.
That's actually not a bad
but
idea.
because they're members and we have their attention. Because they're members and we have their attention, we can make a point system for it. Yeah. And each point, like share, like everything I just said, could be pretty phenomenal.
And then
we're
going to hear the B word in a second. Badge.
I was thinking about that today. Damn it. I can't believe we don't have it. Because I want the 0 to 3, the 3 to 5, the 5 to 10, the 10 plus. You should have your $3 million badge, your $5 million badge, the $10 million badge. Recognition, man. There's so much to do, not enough time. Hey, that's a great idea. The Castle Hot Springs thing is like phenomenal.
Well,
if they sign up to be in the Coconut Club, then they get access to the helicopter.
There you go. See, there it just added at value.
Guys, use your teams. Like,
Listen,
you don't have to do everything
the best
on your own.
iced chai there. Like the best iced chai. It's the food's farm to table.
The best iced chai.
The food farm to table is phenomenal. They grow all their own food there. The hot spring itself is just like so relaxing. He's writing it.
Iced chai.
Bless this guy.
Oh,
bless this.
Iced chai. I just don't even say that word anymore, because the hot water could put you in these days. But iced chai.
Oh my
goodness
God.
Gracious.
What a great podcast.
Like,
man.
I don't even partake.
Are you going to give
personally.
these listeners any value today or not?
Listen, all you're hearing is 2 business owners who are obsessed with giving the people that they want to provide value to the best experience.
So why wouldn't someone sign up and switch over if there's this amazing giveaway?
It's a no-brainer.
No, seriously, walk me through the thought process of, if you see this ad on Instagram, why are you not calling? Because you don't think you're going to win?
That's it.
So, how do you resolve that?
You increase the probability and you lower the threshold for entry.
So you're saying do more of those? Like do 10 visits? So
yeah, like you could say, hey, if you were willing to give 10 grand away for that, what could get us that same result and the amount of input and people participating and diversifying that budget. And you would just do something that would increase, that would almost pay for itself too. So it's like, hey, but
even if you offered 10 and there's 3,000 people entering, I feel like my chances are still low. Like, how do you, I don't know the answer.
We give away
Anything
a truck
from the Cracker Jack community back here.
At the end of the day, you can't do anything of what we're saying if you don't have customers. So you need to diversify for the areas from which you acquire new customers. And the more you do it at a profitable rate, you'll have more cash flow to invest in giveaways. You'll be able to hire Cameron to, use the helicopter, all these extra things, right? But I do think that it is important to note that the more resources that you currently own that you could utilize for it, all the better, right? So in conclusion of acquiring new customers, because we know that you're out there and you're always wondering, how do I get more? Make the list. If you have experience with any of the sources from where you can acquire new customers, it's what's the most profitable source and how can you continue to double down make the promotion better, make the call to action better, and then stop taking all your profits and putting it in your bank account and start giving back more to your customers. And I promise you will have a bigger customer pool to not only give back to, but to transact with, furthering your business and growing your business to levels that you couldn't even imagine. It is that simple. That is why you're stuck at $500,000 a year, is that you take every penny, because your wife's not caught on the vision, your husband's not caught on the vision. You have to get those people caught on the vision. You have to help them understand this is why you can't eat like you used to, and you kick the can down the road for that kind of stuff, and you give more to your customers that you're trying to serve.
I was trying to write down like all the constraints that keep businesses under 3 million, and one of them was understanding the sacrifice that it takes to go.
All of them take the money.
3 million.
All of them take every dollar of profit. Period. Every person I talk to, franchisees, whatever. Oh, we made 250,000. Did you take it? Yeah. I don't know how to grow. Like, take 150,000 less.
That's why we're going to tell you where to chip. We're going to show you what that 250 grand
See
can
what he
do
did
for
there.
you in over the next just 3 years. 3 years alone.
We could literally have the next Tell Me Where to Chip just on branding and marketing.